welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much. For today's video, I wanted to do 10 things I learned before turning 25. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm turning 25 and I am so excited. Throughout the year, I have learned a lot of things that have helped me and I thought I would share them with you. Number one, if you love something, enjoy it. Don't care what others think. An example of this would be I love Disney Channel even though I'm 25, and I love reading young adult books, even though maybe that's sometimes frowned upon when you're older. So if you love something, just enjoy it. If it makes you smile, then just have fun with it. Number two, things don't always happen in your time frame. You may be praying for something or wishing for something for a long time, and in this moment you're asking for it, you don't get it, or you feel like it's been forever, but it's all in God's timing and it's all throughout your path. So don't rush things and just enjoy things as they happen, and hopefully whatever you've been wishing for and praying for will happen for you. Number three is give yourself permission to be sad, but then move on. I have learned that with my chronic illnesses and my depression, that if I give myself a few hours or a day when I'm really upset to just cry out the situation and talk out the situation, then a few hours later or the next day I feel refreshed and ready for the next part of my day or the next day. This has really helped me control my mental health and really help it. It's really healthy to grieve your situation and be sad about something and not just push all those emotions down until one day you just explode. Number four is you don't have to look your absolute best when you leave the house. I have struggled with this a lot. I always thought as soon as I leave the house I have to have a full face of makeup on and I have to be wearing not sweats, but as I've been sick, I've been going out with sweats and I've just learned that I can go out with concealer or no makeup, and part of it is my acne has gotten a lot better and I'm very, very happy and blessed with that. But the other part of it, I feel a lot more confident and I'm kind of just like, oh well, I don't care. Number five is find joy in the little things. I have totally used this one as my mantra every single day because when you're sick, something as basic as reading a book is hard sometimes. But if you're like, I really enjoyed that chapter, I really enjoyed that paragraph, and you really just find you just stay in the present and you find the little happy things throughout the day, you end up looking at the world as if the glass is half full. Number six is don't compare yourself to others. I know, I'm guilty of this too. Instagram, Facebook, Bookstagram, it's all very, very comparative, and you see someone post a picture and you're like, ooh, they look like they're having fun, and then I kind of remember, okay, I'm sick. I can't necessarily do that, X, Y, and Z, whatever they did. But when I truly stopped comparing myself and I just enjoyed what I put out, what content I put out, the videos that I'm making that made me smile, especially with YouTube or numbers and subscribers and stuff, it really just helped me understand and love more of what I do. And when I post an Instagram picture, whether I'm in my wheelchair or with my walker or I'm standing, I'm just happy that I did it. And it's not necessarily like, oh, that person got a million likes on it and I got 10. Like, really, really hard not to compare yourself, but I have totally learned that it's so stressful and it's not good for your mental health. So just enjoy what you can do and be proud of yourself for what you can do. Number seven is try not to be a perfectionist. This is another very tricky one. Actually, with my chronic illness, it actually happens to people who are perfectionists, because what happens is we are constantly striving for perfection over and over and over again and pushing ourselves, and maybe we feel a little bit sick, but we push it down, push it down, push it down, and then we end up our body not being able to handle it anymore. So it ends up happening to people who are perfectionists. So I have really learned in art and in my YouTube and on my Bookstagram to just not stress so much about the perfection. If my picture's not perfect, or if my complexion's not perfect, or if my Bookstagram picture, my book is a little bit out of line, or I haven't written a very good description. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's for fun, it's a hobby, and I enjoy it. So I just have to really work hard on not, especially with art. I'll be working on a project and I'll be like, I messed up, I'm doing a new one. I messed up, I'm doing a new one. And I end up doing like 10 pictures. But now I run out of energy so fast, so I end up being like, okay, that was a mess up. What can I turn that line into? Maybe a bird. And then I turn into a bird. So just finding different ways to try to not be such a perfectionist. I know it's a really, really tough thing to say, but it's definitely helped me to not try to be. Number 8, be okay with your decisions and don't stress the outcome. If you make a decision and you're stressing and worrying and freaking out, because I have major anxiety about what is going to happen next, it doesn't help. And it feels like you didn't even make the decision because you're just like a ton of bricks and you feel so heavy, and a lot of times it makes you feel sick. And instead you just be like, okay, I made this decision. Maybe it wasn't the best decision. Maybe it was, whatever, and I move on. And I've really learned to just take it lightly and then just move on. Number 9 is trust God and lean not on your own understanding. I've really learned, especially in the season of my life and in my life in general, to trust God, give Him all my anxiety, give Him all my fears, all my worries, and not trust what my brain is saying. Because a lot of times my mind and brain is trying to scare me or give me this anxiety-filled life. But if I can just say, okay, I'm really freaking out about this right now, I'm stressing out, I'm going to write about it, I'm going to pray about it, I'm going to prayer journal about it, I'm going to listen to worship music. Oh my goodness, I feel so much better. I actually gave it to God, and now I can move on with my day. And it really, really has helped. And number 10, to wrap this whole 10 things I learned before turning 25, is be in the present. This is a huge one for my mental health and my depression. If I'm outside and I'm enjoying the blue sky and I hear the birds and I'm listening to music and I'm walking around, if I'm in that present moment, focusing on every little thing that's happening around me instead of worrying about the things that are going on in my head, about how I'll feel in the next hour, about how I'll feel in the next day, about how I'll feel in the next year, if I'll ever find a guy, you know, like all these things that I freak out about. Instead, I'm just in this present moment. And it really has helped my mental health because it's made me find joy in the little things, and it's made me feel present and not stress as much about what is coming. That is my 10 things I learned before turning 25. If you could like this video, that would really help out my channel. I have 275 subscribers, and I'm so happy for every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!